Weird podcast is back. And by popular demand, the most amazing guest, my new best friend, and the greatest chef on the planet, and teacher, okay? Chef, competitive competitor, doctor, and my friend, Antonia Lofaso.
Oh, can I just say, you give like the greatest introductions. Well, you like are a champion of all your friends and of like people. It's very, very, very sweet.
Because it's exciting.
I know, but it's just sweet.
I'm proud.
Yes.
I'm so like the funny thing people will see when they see the episode, which I cannot wait.
I know, me too.
Like,
I'm also scared.
I'm nervous for the entire season because like
Yes, of
I'm nervous
course.
because
Yes.
is it going to rate and is it going to stay and are people going to like it and blah, blah.
course.
But when I think about your house
Oh my God.
and the storytelling and the fact that people are only going to see 42 minutes of our 7
Journey.
months
Yeah.
is bullshit because we missed and I had to cut out so much stuff that was so funny.
Wait, so is this podcast going to drop before or after?
I don't know.
Well, because
I feel like we should drop it after.
I think after so that we can like dish.
Yes.
So that we can like really dish on like what happened and people can like.
This will be like the after the episode.
Exactly. Because
Yes.
it's like what you may have missed.
Keep up with us.
Yeah.
Because we're going to squirrel the shit out of this one.
Good luck. That's how everyone is when they're with us, whether it be it friends or poor Brant and Greg. They're the worst.
Watch like a tennis match.
Correct.
And I can't wait for people to see your kitchen. Because I would say, I don't even know where to start on this.
Okay.
But let's just say that everyone's going to be surprised by the fact that you never had a kitchen
I know.
that looked even remotely like this.
Not even close.
That you lived in the house
Yes.
during the entire process.
To give you a little context, right? I'm excited for people to see this because they're going to see another side to my life, right? Which they might only get in pieces, right? Whether it's an Instagram post or it's shows that I've done with Zaya or even something that I've done with my dad, or Greg and I when we did, Guys Roadshow 2 years ago and we caravanned all over like the Midwest.
Would you say that was the most personal other than this one?
No, I think this is the most personal because I think and I haven't seen it yet, but I think it focuses on us, right? Whereas like Guys Roadshow, there was a group of us. So there was like just small pieces of Greg and I or Zaya and I, where this is like, this is our home. This is what we look like after dark. This is what we look like with no makeup, no bra. Like I know what I looked like during this construction process.
Yeah, you told me last week.
Oh my God.
You told me that the one version of you that I never got to see, even I
you
didn't get to
see this,
was tell everyone the
I
Home Depot
showered.
run.
Yeah, I showered when, like, if I knew you were coming over and I knew like a camera crew was coming over, I would freshen up, let's say. But there was a construction outfit. I had multiple that I would just wore a couple days in a row.
Uniforms.
Then I would wash them. Yeah. Right. So it's like I'd wake up in the morning. I put on. It was a pair of like ripped shorts. Okay. It was a Beat Bobby Flay flannel with no bra. Okay.
You were braless.
There was no putting.
You were folding bras,
but
there was no bra being worn.
And for the record, I do not have boobs that should be braless. Like I am not those kinds of boobs. Like this is like, these are boobs that should be contained at all times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and you were just letting them free.
This was like, these are the boobs that literally, like, I remember Zaya saw me once when she was younger. She's like, what happened? Why do they hang like that? And I was like, I fed you.
It's your fault.
It's your fault that they are not my 23-year-old boobs. And so there was an outfit that I remember going to Home Depot with Greg and I was like, my bun isn't this bun, right? This is like
that's a pretty bun.
This is an okay bun, but like, this was like a unwashed hair, that unbrushed. Like there was a lot of gray happening because I had not gotten a color.
I don't know how you would have even found a rubber band to put in your hair.
No, I know. You saw the house. It was like, where are my things? Okay.
You lived in your garage.
I looked like, I just didn't look like myself. I just didn't.
You probably didn't feel like yourself.
I did not feel like myself. And literally Greg, I think, kissed me as we were going into Home Depot. And he was just like, this is quite the outfit, babe. And I was like, don't you start with me today. And now, mind you, I'll give you some context. I grew up in a family that did a lot of construction. My dad is in construction, whether it be in the very beginning, before he got into general, as a general contractor, he got into replacement windows and doors. So he was like an expert at replacement windows and doors. He worked for the electric department in New York City. He worked for the sewage department in New York City. So worked in sewers his entire life. So when you talk about plumbing and sewage, drainage, all of those like very specific like building blocks of construction, he knows on a large scale.
Fred's a sponge his whole life.
100%.
To be able to continue doing it in his 70s.
And let me tell you, so he started working for like, the only thing he's never really done is like a lot of electrical. He can do it.
Now he can.
He can do it.
He learned a lot.
Oh yeah, he can do it, but also he's not allowed to touch the electric, or it needs to be looked at.
We want Fred to live.
Yeah, I want to live.
People are going to fall in love with Fred when they see this episode.
I know.
And then they're gonna like fall. It's just a deeper like love. When I watch this episode over and over and over.
Oh no.
To try to make sure that all the pieces and parts bleed together and make sense, and that we try to get what we can in there. I just fall in love with Fred.
I know.
Over and over and over. And there's that moment at the end, which I wish could hang a little longer, where I'm like, I lost my dad 3 years ago. And like, Fred, you are like a dad. Like, I can talk to you like that. Or like when it was his birthday and you were out of town, and I went and like surprised him and just gave him a hug and a card.
And
I was
remembered.
like, and I wanted to make sure he knew that I remembered.
Yeah.
Like, Fred is the man that you got to grow up with, the man that you get to call dad, who literally flew to you the minute you said that you and Greg were going to do it. You were going to do this house and you were going to renovate it and trust me with it. Fred was the new project manager and flew to Vegas. From, where was he?
He was in Atlanta with Zaya.
That's right. He was with your daughter.
Yeah.
And he flew to you and he lived with you for 5.5 months.
He lived with us for almost 5 months.
Fred lived in the garage.
Yeah, we all lived in the garage.
And Fred showered.
Oh my god!
And I'm gonna. Do I even have a picture? I need to find a picture.
Oh, yeah, you have one. I'm
of
sure.
Fred's bathroom.
Oh my god,
that
it's amazing.
He thought was perfect.
Totally fine.
His little slippers were there.
Flip flops were right there.
And he would shower with just like literally nothing.
What is that stuff called though? It was like the black.
It's called bitchathane.
Okay,
which is very weird. It's a waterproofing sheet.
Right. That would go in a bathroom.
Yes,
right?
It would go behind tile.
Right.
But there was nothing else there.
And also, for the record, we were months from tiling the bathroom. Months.
You just finished the bathroom.
We just
like a week ago.
The bathrooms weren't even actually shown in the episode.
So, Dad of the Year.
Yes.
But you're used to growing up in a construction zone. So this was not foreign to you.
No, it was not foreign to me. And there were two things I knew going into this, right? One is it wasn't an option to leave the house.
Nope.
Because even if Greg and I, as two grown adults who make money, said, hey, we're going to leave the house, he would have said, well, I'm not leaving the house. I need to be on site at all times. And then I would have felt wildly guilty living in an Airbnb with air conditioning and cleanliness and like a refrigerator while my father slept on a cot, showering in a what is that stuff called?
In a bitchathane. Wrapped shower.
You know what I mean?
It was twofold. Like you, I don't know. Like if it wasn't your dad, would you have moved out?
If my dad was not there, I would have moved out.
Okay.
100%. And the really interesting thing is, right, this conversation can get very deep, right? Because in the past, I have compared every man to sort of this very unrealistic way of being, right? Like me living in that house isn't really normal, right? Like Greg kept saying, literally Greg kept saying like, this isn't normal. My therapist was like, yeah, this isn't normal. And I was like, why? This is how
I was saying this isn't normal.
I know.
I wouldn't. I've lived in construction. You are an animal.
Well, here's the sad. I do think my upbringing definitely, for the record, I'm staring at your plant and I was like, I want that plant so bad.
Guess what? Guess who loves fake plants now?
Guess who loves fake plants now?
She's staring at my fake plant in the corner.
Literally.
Because when I went to stage her house and style it, I went to Home Goods.
I was like, I'm returning every single one of these plants tomorrow. I still have all of them.
Made her go to R.C. Willey and I was like, we're going to buy that plant and that plant. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then canceled behind my back. She's like, there will be no fake plants in my house. Fast forward, cut to right now.
know.
She's drooling over
I
my
want that
fake
plant.
plant, and she would return any other ones.
Well, and also, just so you know, I told Greg ever since the bedroom got done, I was like, we have to go to Home Goods tomorrow, get fake plants. He's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, Allison has totally brainwashed me. I'm also probably going to love like Tommy Bahama coconut shrimp next. Like, I can feel
You're
it.
going
I
to
know.
Tommy Bahama.
God damn it.
If I could talk you, someone who was very adamant about
No fake
real
plants.
plants.
I know.
She goes, no, you're going to put them in. And then after you're done and you guys move it out.
I'm taking them out.
She's taking them out. She's putting all real plants
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Guess who doesn't have a real plant in her house?
Not one. Not
Love
one.
them. That's your same plant.
I want that plant.
But I got the taller one.
I need that one.
I know. I'm going to find them for you.
So, Fred, I grew up in all the construction, right? We actually lived in homes that were also never finished. That's the crazy part, because my dad, who did construction all day long, would come home and any of the projects that we wanted done to our own house or my mom wanted done or he wanted done got done over time. They never in a million years would pay an outsider to do any kind of work in the house because my dad could do it all, even though it would take a year, 2, 3.
He wouldn't let
4.
anyone else
He
do
wouldn't
it.
let anyone else do it, because why would we pay for labor when he could do it? I'm like, because it's a 3,000 square foot house
Yeah.
and it's going to take you this long to do it. I had a fight with him I had a huge fight with him over the last 3 bathrooms. Because I was like, Dad, Gerardo gave me the greatest price. Like, he found someone to tile the bathrooms. It'll be done in 2 weeks. So we're going to bring a crew in. And he was like, I can do it. I was like, Dad, it'll take you 4 months.
Fred did all the
No,
bathrooms?
Absolutely
Oh my
not.
God. I'm like, that.
No, but what he did was he demoed all the bathrooms. Do you know what I mean? And he did all what he could do. You know what I mean? That I didn't, that we didn't need a permit for all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Do you know what I mean?
He did the things because here's the thing that Fred just melts my heart over. He was so emotional.
I know.
When 2 times. I mean, a lot, but
Yeah,
2
yeah.
times. One, when we revealed like your appliances.
Oh my God.
He starts crying.
Yeah.
Then I'm crying because you're
know.
crying.
I know.
And then at the reveal, before you even got there, I mean, the man just wants you to be happy. Like he
Oh my God.
loved watching you get what you deserve. And I think because he's been along the whole ride, watching your life, what you've gone through, how hard
Transformed.
you've worked,
Yeah.
transformed, found love,
Yeah.
found stability and happiness in life in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And now to have everything you want and to watch that unfold between like father and daughter was the most beautiful thing. And his relationship with Greg,
I know.
like, could you ask for more?
I
It's
know.
just special.
It's very sweet. It's
They're going out, like you're always on the road.
I know.
And those two are like out to dinner
I
or
know.
having dinner in the garage.
I know.
It's
or they would go for
cute.
like custard. They would like go have sushi and custard every day. Like, it's really like what I have to say, to give you, and I've told you a little bit of the backstory, and I'm happy that you guys were really big on like understanding the whole story behind it, right?
Yeah.
Which is, when you said that your dad passed away and that like he was like,
like my pseudo, like
correct
dad.
A lot of women have said that. My friends have said that
Really?
over the course of his life. Like, Zaya's dad died when she was 11. My dad stepped in and raised her. Do you know what I mean? So
that's her dad.
that's her dad.
Right?
She very much posts for him on Father's Day and very much says like, my father is my father.
Yeah.
She's like, but the man that raised me was Fred. Do you know what I mean? And the same thing with my friend Lolly, who, lost her dad when she was 11. My dad stepped in and did a lot of things like, home repair stuff that a dad would come in and do for their daughter who lived alone and maybe didn't have like a man around to do the thing. My friend Lacey, she bought a house in Los Angeles like 3 years ago. My dad like went and looked at the house and like
He helped her?
He helped her. Like the list of women.
Damn it. I was like, oh, I'm the only one. Fred.
No, but what was
Damn
sweet
it.
about it is that as soon as I got here and you saw it, it was like that is sort of like the common denominator for him of like women that don't have the dad, you know what I mean? Or you know what I mean?
father
the
figure
father
role.
figure around, you know what I mean, to sort of fill. And he's done that a lot, and the very short backstory is, what my father saw, oh God, I don't know, when Zaya was 11 years old. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 years ago, I was making no money. Do you know what I mean? Her dad died. I had to figure out how. There was no life. There was nothing. There was no life insurance. There was no money. And I had to figure out not only how to make enough money for her to finish school and do all these things and for us to live, et cetera. And so he saw me go without forever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
because you just wanted to provide.
I wanted to provide for her.
For her.
And I shut down completely and I hunkered down and I built 3 restaurants and did all the things on television. But in the interim, like, I didn't buy myself clothes. You know what I mean? I didn't, have a nice car. I didn't, spend a lot of money on my homes, even though my home, I have a house in Venice. Like, I did nothing other than make sure Zaya went, and Zaya talks about it now. Zaya went to Japan on school trips. She went to Guatemala on school trips. Like, I made sure that she did all of these like things throughout her childhood. And so I didn't spend money on our houses and I didn't spend money on our cars. I didn't spend money on clothes. And so it wasn't until recently, where obviously she's older now, she's 24, she's moved out of the house. I spent money to redo the Venice house, where I was like, but I sometimes spend with a little bit of like a scarcity mindset, even though I don't really need to. Do you know what I mean? Because it really has.
I'm the same. It's got to be generational too, or the way we grew up or whatever it is. But
it is.
You're just like,
I'm just nervous.
Like always nervous.
Well, and it's also just been me. I think it's for women who have, I think that it's very interesting, right? And it should be like thought about where, traditionally it's a 2-income household. Traditionally you have a partner that's sort of helping with, you know what I mean? And my mindset up until meeting Greg was I'm in this by myself.
Yeah. Like this is all me.
This is all me. I'm raising
counting your money all the time. What job's coming up next?
Correct. Yeah.
How much? Like I literally do count my money.
Of course.
To know that like I'm doing okay, or how long do I have,
of
or
course.
Or
what
when
does
do
my
I need
retirement look like? You know what I mean? Like as I'm going to be 50 next year,
Can't believe that. I can't wait for your party. I'm already like excited about your
for the party that I haven't even talked about yet.
Planning it. It's always been you taking care of, and you gave up. Not that you gave up.
I didn't give anything.
You gave so much to your daughter that like now at 49, you are all about.
I'm like, let's go.
You are all about you. And I got to watch this like unfold a little because I watched you be like a tiny bit like,
I'm not spending
reserved.
It. Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing this.
You're like, we're going to do this, but we're going to cut here. We're going to cut here.
Yeah.
Until finally.
Until you sent me pictures of like little leather like chairs. And then I was like, and then you like Tony Robbins the shit out of me. Like it was over for me when we went antique shopping. That's when I was like, oh,
this is not a big scene, which sucks. So I want to tell that story that no one gets to see.
Oh no.
So I brought you antiquing.
Yes.
You had never been before.
Never.
So the fact that I got to bring you.
And this was also the start of us like spending money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This was also the start of you being like, this is what we're doing. This way. And I feel like I told you my budget and you just were like, and then just like walked away from it and you're like,
her budget was so not real.
Totally.
And I think people will be like, oh, Allison went over budget again. It's like, no, fuck off. Antonia didn't give me a realistic budget.
No.
And you knew it.
I knew it.
And it was like, I don't even know how the hell I can do it with this money. So I just looked at it and I go, okay, I know what I can get you for free.
Yeah.
And free in our game is awesome.
100%.
Because we can help brands and that's just a given.
Yes.
So when I go antiquing with you, I'm like so excited to watch you get excited. We just walked through the front door, didn't get much further than that. And it was like, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at this. I can find this cheaper.
Yeah.
Let's buy this. But we go and we find our way into the back, which we weren't going to go.
Well, you said actually that you never even go back there.
Never.
Often. Yeah.
It's the greatest, the Antique Mall of America in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's so special. And we go to the back. Oh, because the bar that I found.
Was like being
for
held
you,
back there. Yes.
I had found a year ago.
Right.
And I didn't know where that bar was going to go or who was going to get it. Then I had the back piece that we put the scale on.
Yep.
Had that on hold for a year.
Yep.
Didn't know where that home was going to be. It's kind of like I adopt all these things and then I find homes for them or I foster them.
I know exactly how your brain works with it. It's
and I go
amazing.
Show you this old antique piece that we're going to use for your little back bar. And there's this like one booth with old like food scales.
Like candy scales, fruit scales, like basically old scales from like the 1800s.
And the one that we saw first was this
gorgeous
scale that we do not focus on at all in this episode, which pisses me off.
I'm actually not mad about it, but the other part, because the other scale that you like Tony Robbins me into getting, I say every single morning how happy I am when I have it. And I use it. I wish I had a picture of it right now because literally I left the house right now and I just went and like did a grocery haul, and there's like lemons, limes. So like the bigger part has all the citrus, and the other little balancing one has like apples and bananas and avocado.
That was my vision.
I know.
I said to you, I said, you got to get this one and this one. You're like, I only need one.
And this is where the start of like, I'm not spending all this money on these things. I was like, okay, I'm going to get this scale.
Just
and
one.
that's going to be it. Because this is the scale that I want. And you're like, you need the black and gold one. And I was like, ugh. Allison. And then you were like, you got a soapbox and you stood on it. And you were like, literally, this is how like I envisioned you, right? All of a sudden, like you were no longer Allison Victoria. You were Tony Robbins, who like, you know, had muscles and like a perfect jawline, which you do have a perfect jawline.
Oh, thank you.
And you were like, you leave all the time and you're on the road and you're in airplanes and you deserve to come home to a house that just feels like all the things in it are meant for you. And I was like this, like
you stood there and took it in for 2 seconds.
I took it in for like 40.
Left.
It was like I was gonna cry. I was like 45 minutes.
Because I'm like, just do this. Like you deserve this. You worked so hard for this. And that's when you go, you sound like Tony Robbins. And I wish that we could have gotten that. There's like one little Tony Robbins part. That's it.
It's the greatest.
By the way, I'm flashing. Like,
do
you see me sweating?
No, you look totally
I'm
the
so
same.
goddamn hot.
Do you need a
No,
fan?
I'm just going to flash it out.
All right, okay.
Full hot. I mean, it feels like someone lights your fucking body on fire.
Oh, I can see it in your chest now.
I'm sweating to death. It's like you and I will talk all about that.
I know.
The menopause is real.
Yeah, the
But anyway,
estrogen, the
it's so
progesterone.
bad.
I know.
I'm dying. So anyway, if you see me sweating, I'm just, you
You
hot
look great. You
flashing.
can't even really say it.
Fucking
it's just
A.
your chest.
So you say, and then I sell you on it. I'm like, you gotta
did.
get both.
Yeah.
And then I found one.
Yeah.
So now I have one in my kitchen that constantly reminds me of you,
Of the day.
of that day, and
my
that
whole life
moment.
changed. Yeah.
And I keep like all my salts in there, and I keep all the things that I love.
You got the smaller like candy one. Like I
yes,
was like,
I got a full candy one.
This was like the transformative moment for me in that antique shop, because in the moment, right, everything that I've always known about like building a house or whatever is like very transactional, right? Like it's just like, okay, I'm going to get this new sink. Great. Okay. Or here's a little cabinet that's going to hold my blah, blah, blah. You have me looking at life in a totally different way. And I know that sounds like such a broad statement to make about, you know, a house being designed. And it's not about the things that are in the house, right? It's about like my worth to a certain degree, right? Of like this home that I want for myself so that I can be the best version of myself, so that when I do go out into the world and I'm like with my teams or I'm like building something new or new restaurants, there's this like place of refuge. Do you know what I mean? That is mine. Do you know what I mean? That I share.
I know what you mean.
I know you do, but I've never been taught this part of life. Do you know what I mean? And so you go into people's homes and sure, it's decorating. I don't know what you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it. Like there's so much more of an emotional connection to it. Truthfully, Greg and I are stronger since the last like 5 months.
I love
Do you know what I
that.
mean? Because poor thing, you know what I mean?
Greg.
Oh my God.
Behind the scenes,
Yes.
guys.
Behind-
Greg did not grow up like you.
No, he did not.
Did not go through construction.
No, he did not.
Never lived in
No.
construction, let alone with his love and partner.
Correct.
Where
this was normalized to like be this uncomfortable, to be this sort of, you know, I mean, at first we were keeping everything like clean. And I think at one point at the end, before we think, there was like burgers on the floor. There was like literally like,
you guys were a mess.
it was a mess. It was
Poor
a mess.
Greg, there's one scene you do not see. Poor Greg is stressed to the max.
He is, yeah.
Ends up like his foot's in a bucket
In a
of
recycle.
ice.
No, it was a recycled garbage can.
Garbage can in the garage. He's
Yeah,
sitting there with
yeah.
his foot in a bucket.
Yeah.
We're showing up to film.
Yeah.
But he's just living life.
Yeah.
Watching golf.
Yeah.
While
But
you're
also-
making burgers for everybody
but
and
also
folding laundry.
Folding laundry, making burgers. His foot is in the ice bucket. And also he got like a bad case of like construction eczema.
He got eczema. And he was like Greg is like this man, you know?
Yes.
He's the strong man.
Yes,
And
yeah.
he's sitting there
Yeah.
in his weakest moment.
Defeated.
Defeated
Yeah.
and insecure. Like
Yes.
his poor face was all broken out and his foot was like blowing up. I kept telling him to tell everyone that he had gout.
I know.
Like the king's disease. I'm like, just tell everyone you're eating too much caviar.
He's like, I have plantar fasciitis. But like the crazy part, right? This is like what I just like before we started the podcast, I said, like, if we don't love each other in these moments, do you know what I mean? Like, sure, it's so easy for him to love me when I'm on a stage and, you know, hundreds of people are clapping for me because I made a tomahawk with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, I win Tournament of Champions and, you know, I have all the recognition. That's an easy version of me to love. Do you know what I mean?
So easy.
Does he love the version of me that's in the cutoff shorts that I've worn 3 days in a row? That God knows what they smell like. My Beat Bobby Flay flannel with no bra, with my boobs that should be in a bra. You know what I mean? With like my gray,
Your distressed bun.
my distressed bun, my untreated hair color. Do you know what I mean? And like,
and you're stressed to the max.
Oh my God. Yeah.
People will really, really resonate with you.
Yeah.
They already do. But I'm saying in the moment of, just like you said, if you can't love each other in moments like this, but more importantly, if you can get through
I know that's what everyone says.
moments like that.
We're
I don't know
forever.
a lot of people that could live in a home, in a garage, going through construction while you're traveling all the time for work. So you get to pack your little bag and take off here and there, and we get to detach.
Yes.
Because when we go film something somewhere else,
It's a whole other life.
life everywhere else doesn't exist.
Correct.
The people in it do, but everything else just goes away because you're in the moment. But Greg is in the garage.
He is.
With Fred.
Yes.
Eating burgers.
Correct.
And watching golf.
Yes.
And sleeping in a construction zone.
Yes. Which he has, you know, not the great, he has a little asthma. Do you know what I mean? So not the great.
Now you tell me?
He's got
Now you tell me he has asthma? Could have killed him?
No, I have to say it. Like I said to him, because he was. So what I said to him, I was like, but I love you. Like, I love you with your construction eczema. Like, I love you with your foot in like a recycled garbage bin. Do you know what I mean? Because you have plantar fasciitis. You know what I mean? Because you're so stressed out. You know what I mean? Like, great. It's easy for us to love each other in the gorgeous kitchen that you built for us.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to love each other in like, you know, opening my freaking like Blue Star oven. You know what I mean? Like that's the easy part. Loving each other when, oh my God, when Gerardo painted the banisters and we weren't allowed to turn the air conditioning on in the house because of the black paint that would have been sucked up.
And you would be like, turn the air on, I hear you. And like every time I would come in the house, I'd be like, hey guys, you're like, we're in the garage. And I'd go in there and it was like everyone was dead.
Wait, can we also just talk about the fact when you realized we were living in the garage? Because
My
I don't think
face,
I told you.
People will see that moment because I really
You thought it was craft service.
I thought you guys. So they have a table in the garage set up.
Our Walmart table.
Okay. It's a folding table in the garage. I'm going to, of course, be with you, but we're filming that day. If this isn't as real as reality TV gets, I don't know what is. And I walk into the garage and in my head, I see a table with like oranges and peanuts and chips. And I'm sitting there going, my crew finally got it together.
Yeah, totally.
They finally put a craft service table for me.
Lovely.
Like, right? We're professional now. We've got a whole spread here. Well, this is what I'm used to.
To give viewers or listeners some context, right? So normally when there is a show being shot, and especially if you're out of a studio, production will go ahead of like talent and they'll build out a little area, like a rest area, right? They'll have waters and drinks and usually like the talent's favorite chip or whatever. And it's called craft service. And so it'll have exactly what you just said.
Sounds like a dream, right? Which every show, I have that.
Yes,
you have that.
I do, yeah.
We have that. My show is so rogue. We are going. We don't sit still. So it's just like literally bat phone shit, right?
You guys are also leapfrogging. So it's like production goes ahead of you, sets up there, you're with me, then you meet them there at the next shoot. So you're like leapfrogging like your entire production.
There's no sitting still, right? But I'm sitting there going, oh my God, they set up craft service in the garage. Yeah. And Antonia looks at me and you say, this is our pantry.
Yeah. This is where we live.
This is our kitchen.
Yeah, this is our kitchen.
And you see me in that moment
process
on the
it.
show, and I like take it in and I go, you're living in here? And then you like the viewers don't get to see all the funny because that moment was so real for me where I'm like, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You're crazy. You may have grown up like this, but you're now a grown up.
Yes.
Living like this with your poor man who in the beginning
Did not sign up for this.
He did not sign up for this. Neither did you.
No.
Neither did Fred, but we all did it.
Yes.
And I cannot wait. Like people are going to see this transformation and it's huge.
Yeah. Well, you know
it's huge.
Well, let me tell you too, and then we can get into like what the house, my favorite parts of the house. Watching you shoot this show, like everyone who's listening should know, right? I shoot shows for a living as well, but our shows go, I was saying this to you, 2 or 3 weeks. You know, when we shoot Tournament of Champions, it's 2 weeks. You're in this bubble, but you're in this sort of like confined area. You're at a studio. Sometimes we'll shoot off property, but other than that, it's like this contained area. You go home at night, you shoot 2 weeks, you're done. The whole season, right?
Lucky.
You, on the other hand, I'm like, the reason you didn't know that I was living in the garage because the time that you have for each person, it's like you have how many? 6 houses? 8 houses? 8 houses going on, right? And dealing with the people at the house for all the design questions. I know how many questions I had. And I'm someone who has sort of a construction background. And I'm someone who does shows. And so I have like a little bit more of like a mentality that you do. But I can't imagine any of your other clients
Imagine
do.
them not having any clue.
Yeah. So now you're explaining it to them because I would get text messages from you at like 10 o'clock at night with like chairs, lamps, blah, 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 like links to things. And you're like, you need 4 of these. You need 8 of these. This is your light, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and literally my answer all the time was just like, yes, just trust Allison. Yes. Like, because you know what it is? I know how it feels when I go into a restaurant or home or like into an event and someone's like, I just don't know. Is that beef going to be good? And I'm like, I do this for a living. And I'm like shaking and I'm like, I have done all my research on you. I know what this event is. I've like thoroughly calculated and planned this menu for you. I've like stood up nights thinking about the beef that I'm going to make for this. And so, and I just don't want anyone, like it's normal to question.
You want people to trust.
I want someone to trust the process.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And so multiple times during this entire thing, I was like, I love Allison. I love everything she does. I love her own home. This is like beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I just like had to like stop. I was like, you would never buy this chandelier. That's $5,000. I was like literally having heart palpitations
over lighting.
Oh, I'm still like kind of nauseous about it. But now I walk around my house now and Greg's like, if you say the word ambiance one more time, I'm going to kill you. Because I feel like you, no one's even home and I'm lighting candles.
I love this.
I'm dimming lights in the living room I'm not even in.
Good.
Do you know what I mean? Or I'm like, hey, let's go sit down and make little like soda waters and play chess with our little frog ashtray that we got. No, it's adorable. And so again,
because they're moments.
There are moments.
And you're living in those moments instead of literally just dropping your bags and being okay with not having what you deserve.
Correct. And that's
that part is crazy because when I walked into your house and you showed it to me for the first time, I was like, no.
I know.
The word no came out a million times. I'm like, no. And then I come around the kitchen. I'm like, no, this isn't your kitchen. And you are so sweet and so humble and so cute and so real. But only because like, that's why you and I hit it off to begin with. We could not be more real.
I know.
And you just say how you are and who you are and how you feel. And you were like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
And it is good enough.
Yes.
But it is not great enough for you. And you just loved it as it was.
Well, because
you couldn't picture what it was, what it could be.
I couldn't picture what it could be. And I think that's why my dad is so emotional because, you know, to bring us full circle, which is I started with nothing when I started doing all the things, you know, and it was like give. And it was good. Everything was good enough. And I made money, blah, blah, blah. But it was not necessarily taking what I've earned and like what I've worked so hard for and actually putting it into a home that means something for me. So you're right. So when I come home and I'm exhausted and I've been on the road, I can sit in a chair that is expensive, but it just is not, it's not even about it being expensive. It's like the greatest swivel chair on the planet.
I know.
It's the greatest swivel chair on
Four
the planet.
of them.
4 of them.
And you said no at first, and you're like, let's find
absolutely
alternatives.
not. I was like, alternatives, and you were like, no. And then like you just didn't respond to my text messages. And then I feel like this was all like a thing where she's just letting me sit with this right now, and she knows that I'm just going to pick the chair. And
It's all psychology.
It's totally psychology because
I did. I sent you backups, and you're like, no. And I didn't intentionally send shitty ones.
No, I know.
It was like, what looks like this?
Yeah.
Reverse Google search.
Yeah.
What can I find from Wayfair?
Yeah.
What can I do from Target?
Yeah.
Where can I find?
for the
which you
record,
know me, I'm high-low.
you are.
I
All day
can
long.
kill it at
Yeah.
Home Goods.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about our Home Goods
Oh my
run
God.
because this is my favorite.
Is this show? Oh no, we didn't film in there.
I wish we could.
Oh, we didn't film in there.
I
That's
wish
right.
that Home Goods knew that I am your mascot.
Oh yeah.
How the fuck do I not have a deal at Home Goods
I don't
yet?
know.
I live there. I go there 3 to 4 times a week. I have the credit card.
Okay.
I told Antonia to get the credit card, and she did.
Oh yeah. My TJ Maxx, Home Goods,
You have
Marshalls,
a credit card. I made her sign up.
But also, just so we're clear, you walk into Home Goods and there's like 90 people that attack you. And not because they see you, but because they can hear your voice. Okay? So literally I was like, and you were like, go down the candle aisle. You can't buy enough candles. I was like, on it. So I'm in the candle aisle. We had 5 shopping carts.
One full of candles that smelled like coffee.
Yeah, I was
Which
all
I
about the
love.
coffee
You've
ones.
turned
I was
me on to
all about
those.
the tobacco coffee ones. But like, and then all I heard is like from other aisles, oh my God, it's Allison. Oh my God, I love this. Oh my God. And you're like, oh, thank you. And like, then you're like pointing to people. You're like, the mirror's over there. You're like directing people.
Yeah, they're like, do you like this pillow or that? That's my life in Home
And
Goods.
how about this? Every employee, for the record,
They love me.
They love you. They know you by name. They are like, we have everything up front. And listen, don't worry. It's like you're the best person to go to Home Goods with. I know.
I thank you,
You
for
are.
saying that. And I just went there today, by the way, for about 20 minutes. I just had a little moment. And I go in there and the lady says to me, she's like, oh my God, we missed you. We haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Did you see Nicole Richie's new line? And I go, why the fuck would you say that to me? What does
Stab.
Nicole Richie have to do with Home Goods?
Nothing.
I have everything to do with it. And I'm
Everything.
sitting there going, why can't I have a deal in a place that I couldn't love more?
Yes.
I mean, am I pitching it hard enough?
I
you
would like
think
to
I
pitch
can
it
get
with
it?
you.
Thank you.
Because I actually watched it play out. There were no cameras in this thing. You weren't like, let's go to Home Goods because I have a deal there or I get a discount. You were like, and for the record, you were like, we're going to hit up 3 different Home Goods. The one over here in Henderson, the one over by my house in Borderline. I was like, should we go to the one in Summerlin? You're like, that one's shit.
I knew already.
You're like, you know what Home Goods has the thing. Like, it's insane. How about this? I went in to return something to Home Goods. It was something that, like, it wasn't a fake
wasn't a plant,
I forgot
that's
what it
for
was,
sure.
actually. No, it wasn't. No, I think it was like a pillow. And I like go to return it and I was like, oh, I don't know. They were like, you were with Allison. We're fine. I'm like, Jesus, you even know who she's with. Yeah, it was wild.
It's like when we go to a restaurant together.
Yes.
It literally, the restaurants are your Home Goods.
Correct. The restaurants are my Home Goods.
It's so fun because it's like a meet and greet for you anytime we eat.
Yes.
It's like the most special, beautiful treatment. And then when we go to Home Goods, it's like I love it. My boyfriend, I remember, I want to say it was like a year ago, and I was like down. I don't know what it was. I was like kind of sad. He goes, let's go to Home Goods.
Your soap dish moment. We talked about this.
Yes.
Did we see
it was like the movie Soap Dish.
Yes.
He brought me to Home Goods.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to him, I don't want to go in. Like, I'm good. I don't want to go in. He goes, let's just go. We got 20 minutes. Let's just go. We walk in. Within seconds, this cute little old Jewish couple, they're like, Allison. And they came up and it was like, Soap Dish.
Yeah, it's Soap Dish, the movie. So
best.
Greg and I make jokes about the movie Soap Dish all the time. And if everyone's seen it, they need to go like Google
Watch
this.
Soap Dish.
It's the greatest movie with the greatest ensemble cast. I'm like dating myself at how old I am right now.
No, but me too, because
Yes.
it's my one of my favorites other than Death Becomes Her.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, my favorite as well. So it's not Shelley Long. It's what's her face from
You like me, you really like me.
You Like Me. Oh yeah. Oh God, what is her name?
Sally Field.
Sally Field. Okay. Sally Field is like one of the greatest actresses on a soap opera.
Yep.
Right. And Whoopi Goldberg is her producer. And whenever Sally Field is feeling like down and out and feeling like what she does like doesn't matter and all the things, Whoopi Goldberg's like, I'm going to take you to the mall and I'm going to like notice you on the escalator. And then everyone's going to notice you and tell you how much you've touched their lives at home by seeing you every day on their screens.
Could this be me and you when we're 70?
This is going to be me in Costco and you in Home Goods.
We're going to soap dish each
We're
other.
gonna soap dish each other.
I will soap dish you till the day we die.
100%. I will soap dish you without question.
And the fact that like what I love most about this last year, almost a year,
I know,
is that you have, the other day you taught me how to make this like dessert for my boyfriend's birthday.
Yeah.
And all I wanted to do was video it to show you. And Camille's over and I'm like whipping it, hand whipping it. She goes, why don't you use the machine? I go, no. Antonia said to hand whip it. Yeah. And she told me to get vanilla stalks and scrape them out and put it in there. And you, like the way that, because I really, truly love what you do. Yeah. Like I love you, but I love what you do. And I really like have a love for it.
We also love cooking.
Thank God Brant said it to me that night.
Love cooking.
He goes, when I made his birthday dinner last week with your guidance, he said to me, thank God that you love it so much, you're good at it. Yeah. That you're not loving it so much that you would make it your new obsession because you would open a fucking restaurant. Yeah. I would be like, this is happening.
What about our olive oil company?
Oh, we're doing olive oil. That's happening as soon as I wrap up this show. Yeah. Okay. The year of my life.
You've already started. Like,
we've got the bottle. Yeah. It's happening. I can't wait. We got to come up with a fucking name.
Yeah.
But I thank God I don't love it as much to open a restaurant. But your love for what I do has gone to an amazing place.
Oh, you should have seen me yesterday placing my lamps in the bedroom and arranging things and being like, I told Greg that we need like pictures on either side. And he's just like, and I was like, I got to talk to Allison about it. And I was like, I think I need like a big plant by the TV. He goes,
100%.
He was like, what is happening to you? And I was like, well, I'm going to talk to Allison. He goes, the show's over.
The show's never over.
He was like, you don't have to talk to, like, we're good. And I was like,
you
no,
always
babe.
do.
I was like, what are you talking about? I was just like, I'm like, and he's so funny. He's like, you're so into this now. Because then I was like, okay, I need like a bookshelf and there should be like a little reading nook. I don't know if I'm going to sit there and ever read. Like I have this vision of like this little reading nook that I'm going to like, and I have my cookbooks in, like I'm going to put my glass on and be like, sitting in this reading nook. Who am I?
You are the new Antonia that loves where she lives and appreciates what she should have always had.
Yes.
Because your story, like I got to actually hear your story the other night at dinner. I was going to say, if you wouldn't mind sharing the Fred part, because it stuck with me. I hope you don't mind. I shared it with Brant.
No.
But the thing that Fred said to you.
Oh, yes. About
was the one moment where I want people to love Fred even more.
Yes.
But if you wouldn't mind sharing like this moment of your father.
That's why, Fred, listen, and my mother is too. She's like,
your mother's amazing.
My parents are very special people who never stop surprising me. How about that? They never stop surprising me, the lessons that they still continue to teach me without even like really ever doing it. But the story that you talk about, and it's a really big deal because I think it's a thing for like a lot of women, right?
Yes.
It was honestly the decision that I had to make about having Zaya. And Zaya knows the story, right? So it's like her dad and I weren't together. We were together, but not really together. And, I got pregnant, like, I was on birth control, but really like, was I taking it as well as, I was like 22 years old, right?
Yeah, so no one's responsible.
No one's responsible at 22.
You miss a pill.
And I got pregnant. And in that moment, I was like, I'm 22 years old. But I also like have like, I'm living in New York City and these are all the things that I want to do with my life. And holy shit, like what am I going to do? Right. And like, her dad and I were together, but it was also like, I was like, I need to just go home to my parents. I couldn't explain it. I just got on a plane and I wanted to go. I wanted to see my mom and dad. I was
you had the feeling. You needed your parents.
I needed my parents. And, I was depressed and like sleeping and like, I just wanted to be home at my parents' house. And I went right in and I told them, you know what I mean? I was just like, this is where I'm at. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was very conflicted. I was just like, do I keep the baby? Do I have all these things that I want to do? You know what I mean? Or do I choose not to keep the baby? I don't know. And I woke up I was sleeping and I remember it so vividly. I was sleeping in my parents' room too. Like I wanted to be in their bed. And I was like, I was a baby.
Because you were
like
so
having
depressed.
a baby.
You didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do. And I woke up and it was my dad actually that came to me and he said, I just want to say to you, whatever you decide to do, it is total. I support you no matter what. You are my child. I love you. And I was like, no, mind you, we've all seen Fred, but if you haven't seen the episode, he is like a Sicilian construction dude with like the biggest like New York accent you've ever heard. He mispronunciates words. Like he's just like, your children are a blessing. You know what I mean? And he said to me, he's like, children are a blessing. And I promise you, you will never, ever, you'll never regret having her. And my fear is that you will regret not having her. Her, like we didn't know.
Yeah.
And he said, and I promise you this, he said, if you just want to have the baby and give the baby to your mom and I, we will raise the baby so that you will never be stuck and you will never not get what you want in life. If you want to go to school, back to school, you want whatever you want to do, we will help you raise this child and do everything we can financially with our being, whatever it is, to do that so that you can still have your life. He's
it's
like,
the sweetest story.
Or you can leave the baby with us. And for the record, my parents are not religious. Do you know what I mean? They're not like,
Nope.
There's nothing to do with a religious, like,
it was a daughter thing.
It was a daughter
family
thing. It was a family thing. It was, I love my children thing. It was more children could never hurt this scenario. I promise you. Do you know what I mean? And he literally, what he did was he took the fear and the sting away from having a kid.
He made it feel safe.
He made it feel very, very safe. And in that moment, I was like, okay, no matter what happens. And then the really insane part behind it is that I ended up needing them so desperately because when Zaya's dad died, I literally was like, oh, okay, now really, I actually really need you because now I have to go to work every single day. And she's 11. I don't mean to laugh about it. I mean, it's been a while since all this has happened, but
but look at what happened.
Yeah. And
it came true where he
had to.
He just did it.
Yeah,
there was no question. It was you told me he picked her up from school all the time and let you, because think about, like, this is what I thought about after you told me that story last week, was Fred saying that to you and meaning it. Yes. Of course, not just to make you feel good, but really meaning it.
And he was working full time at that time.
Right. Yeah, because he was like, probably like, I want my daughter to have you, to have everything you want in life. But I also want you to not regret not having
a baby,
something in life, because let's look at it. Like, would you have? Let's say you hadn't had Zaya.
Yeah. My trajectory would not have been to have,
blew the fuck up. And when that happens, I'm not saying to everyone, but when that happens, we as women are like, oh God, do we have to choose one or the other?
Correct.
And when this happens, will it maybe stunt this or whatever? And so I love that Fred was like, I want you to have everything that you want, not look back and regret it. And then followed up with doing everything he could to be the father figure that he is to Zaya, who I cannot believe I haven't met.
And still, for the record, still does. Like, he just left my house 2 days ago to drive. He's 75 years old. Drove to Atlanta, which is clear across the country, and did it in a day and a half to go help her build. And for the record, she's obsessed with her grandfather.
I would be.
Yeah, you can't say a bad word about her grandfather, like, no matter what. She loves him. And she's, for the record, 25. You know what I mean? She has a beautiful little life in Atlanta that she loves. And there's a room at the house where she's just like, my grandfather can live with me forever if he chooses to.
Oh, and he's going to build her a fence.
Yeah, he's going to build her a fence. Drove out there to build her a fence.
And he'll probably build it so beautifully.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, at first he was like, she's like, I just need it in this one area. He goes, if we're going to build the fence, we're going to build the whole yard. I was like, Jesus, you don't understand. I was like, this is going to go from $1,000 to just build a portion of the fence to like a $6,000 fence.
It's going to be a $10,000 fence.
I know
also, the real number. Okay, you with your budget.
For the record, that was Fred's number.
Fred's wrong. And then he's going to buy the best cedar and get like a whatever.
Well,
he's so funny.
He goes from Atlanta because my brother's going to buy my mom's house because my mom's going to move to Vegas.
Your mom's moving?
My mom's moving. She needs to be
you
closer.
told me she might, but now she is. Yeah. Is Fred going to move back?
Fred is on walkabout right now.
Fred
I don't know
if
you know
nomad.
the term from, like, I think Australians use it, right?
Is it a nomad?
It's so on walkabout is like when a man and it's usually done of like men of a younger age for them to find themselves.
A
Do you know what I mean?
midlife crisis.
It's like mostly young men in their 20s that like they go to find themselves like as like a spiritual like pilgrimage of manhood that
He's
the
still doing it
Australians
in his
do.
70s.
So he never did it I think when he was younger, so he's doing it now because my parents had me my mom was 19 and my dad was like 22.
Oh God.
Yeah. They were children. And so I don't think they've ever, so now my dad, when I say walkabout, like I took him to London and he was like, I have Uber and a credit card and I didn't see him for 3 weeks.
Fred's the best.
He won every tour.
Everyone needs a Fred,
Everyone-
and you're
yeah.
so lucky to have a Fred.
I
And
know.
just the small moments that people will get to see on this episode of Fred are
the
so
greatest.
sweet and cute. And I wish there were more.
Yes.
But I want to talk now about your kitchen. Please.
I just started like letting people cook in it.
What do you mean?
Like, if Greg wants to
like
like
if
boil
Greg
some
wants
water.
to
Yeah.
boil water.
Yeah, if Greg wants to like if he wants to start
Still have
boiling
to
water.
touch it. We were going to do a stanchion.
Yeah,
Like a nightclub.
correct. And he was going to be the bouncer.
Where Greg's the bouncer and no one's allowed in your kitchen because I'll tell you what, I get it.
Oh my God.
I don't want anyone touching my shit.
No.
Ever. Like the appliances, like you saw my appliances in my kitchen and you were like, you loved the range, right?
Yes.
But I knew when we were doing your kitchen, I'm like, I know exactly what we're doing. Like
yeah.
you need a commercial burner, but like you,
Your brain works like a thunderbolt.
it's nuts.
It's nuts. Like,
It's very tiring up here.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
But it is incredible the vision that you have and then the entire like blossoming of the thing. And when you were like, you need this, I said no words to you. Like you brought in a piece of marble, a black door, do you know what I mean? And a piece of wood. And you were like, those three tactile.
Here's your tiny samples.
Yeah.
I didn't bring you much.
No.
And I knew what I needed to
Yeah.
do, like to get for the show,
Yes.
to show viewers, like this is what we're doing. Because
Yeah.
mainly I'm like, I got you.
Yeah.
You want an all black kitchen?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to do it the right way.
Correct.
And I just ran with it. But like you taught me a lot. And people at home aren't going to get to see this because it didn't make it.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to kitchen design, I've designed over, I don't even fucking know, 150,
Yeah. You're
200.
known for like gorgeous kitchens.
Yeah, like that. And I win all the kitchen challenges.
Yeah.
Like it's just my thing. So I feel like I know it. And now that I've started to really cook and like understand my way around the kitchen.
Yes.
But you taught me something great about where the garbage can was because in
God.
your old kitchen, you had a garbage can sitting, two of them, one sitting by the island on the end that like you hit with your foot and it flipped up and made a crashing noise. No.
Oh God.
Then another one on the end by your stove.
Yeah.
So you were the one that gave me that tip.
Yeah.
And people at home need to know this too because the pull-out garbage can, two of
You
them.
need two of them.
One by the stove to the left
Yep.
or right wherever you
And
are.
one where you're cutting.
And one where you're cutting.
Yeah. Well, the other
I
thing that
loved
I
it.
loved so when we built the pantry and you were like, I want the vintage door and I want the vintage door handle. I was like, oh my God, now that you can see into my pantry, I can't put food in there. And
Never.
No. And like shout out to William Sonoma because they styled
Oh my
every
God.
pot and pan on the planet for me.
It's the most beautiful pantry.
But-
and it's most fucked up pantry design because you have this soffit,
correct.
but it doesn't even
Matter.
matter because of the way that it is styled
Yeah.
in there for your life.
Well, because I brought in the Metro shelving racks
Yes.
and I put them in and you were like, what are these things?
I
and I was
loved
like,
them.
did I just explain like how a resident chef would house their, and the crazy part is I was recently at Bobby Flay's house in the Hamptons and his whole pantry, I was like, see, babe,
Same.
see how all of the like beautiful, like, because I have like all the all clad and all the stub and all the
Yes.
cast irons and like, it's like you want to display these beautiful pots and pans. And so I have cake holders and like, all this stuff.
and it's there.
Yes.
You get to see through it because we
Correct.
found an antique door that
Yep.
no one's going to see this part.
Oh.
But we went antiquing.
Yeah.
So fun fact about kitchen stuff for your kitchen is the door to the pantry. We found it when we were antiquing.
Yeah.
And I asked the people at the front desk, I'm like, we want the door. And they're
yeah.
like, it's not for sale,
Yeah.
it's decoration.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck decorates a booth at an antique store
That I
with an
can't buy.
antique door? So anyway, I talked them into it. And by that, I mean, I think I just gave them like a hard time. They gave it to us. It was like $200.
It was nothing.
Right? Then that got painted. It's like these panes, these like little window panes that you get to see through. The fuck are you? Don't eat through my clothes.
Grandma.
Total grandma move. See? Menopause and a moth.
Stop it. Menopause and a moth.
Going through menopause bring
A story
moths.
about getting older.
Okay, I'm going to write the book.
Just write the book.
Finally, I'm going to write a book.
Menopause and a moth.
What did you say? A story of what?
About story about getting older.
I love that.
I know.
Finally, I've never written a fucking book. The kitchen, the booth. Let's talk about this banquette. Because you saw my banquette, which is just a quick straight across, right? And it's beautiful and fun and functional, and I love it, and I sit there. You had this moment where we could do an actual, like, rounded radius banquette, and you said it. You go, I want it to be in like a chocolate leather.
I know.
Right? And I was like, got you.
Yeah.
We're getting you a faux leather that looks like weathered.
It's luscious
and channeled.
soft.
And we could seat like 10 people at this table.
Yes.
And then we did a butcher block island.
Yes.
That you at first were like, no.
Well, I'm listen, I'm still scared of it. You know what
Don't
I mean?
ever cut on it.
Don't ever cut on it. Like
Ever.
if anyone, but here's the thing.
Someone's going to cut on it.
Well, here's the thing. So I had this conversation with Michael Simon, who's another like well-known chef. He, for the record, only uses Blue Star 2, which is amazing.
Which I love.
I know. And he only does butcher block counter islands. And I said
Just
to him,
on the island.
And how about this? Only does black kitchens.
No.
Yes. And I sent him pictures. So his wife's a designer. I sent him all the pictures. He's like, oh my God, it's gorgeous. But he said, he goes, listen, if someone does cut on it, he's like, just get someone come out, they just sand it.
You sand down the divot.
Exactly.
And we left yours raw. So we did a raw black walnut butcher block island with a very light, almost white oak cabinet.
It's gorgeous.
And when the cabinets came in, you guys were
flipped
like,
out.
well, I think this is wrong.
Well, also,
because of course the vision is like here.
well, also, no, you did send everything in an email, like written out with plans that
But we
no
don't-
one followed.
No one looks at.
Well, it's like me
But
building
I
a
understand.
recipe.
I'm not looking at your recipe. I'm listening to what you said.
Correct.
That's it.
And so all of a sudden we get these cabinets and I'm like, why are 90% of the cabinets black, like we discussed, and 10% of the cabinets brown? And I was like, what's happening?
And I get that text.
Yeah, and then I get a text and I'm like, I think they sent the wrong cabinets. And you're just like, shut up.
I'm like, I'm asleep. You and I text it
you're
like midnight.
Idiot. You're like, you're an idiot. Read the email.
Because I'm like, no one looks at my fucking plans.
don't.
I mean, I had plans and we even to the last minute, I'm like, where's this? Like, where's the plan? They're like, we don't know. And it's just like,
I was like,
goes
I don't
out the
read
window.
plans. I was like, who reads plans?
Nobody.
Well, actually, Gerardo would have read them had I given them to him.
Had we given them to the contractor.
Had I actually given them to the contractor, he would have read them. Do you know what I mean?
No plans,
No plans,
anywhere.
no.
So all of that was just like, as it came in, you're processing it. And I'm like, trust me, the whole kitchen's black, but the island, because it's a smaller space, has to be lighter and float almost,
It is
right?
the most gorgeous coloring of like that. We have this entire black cabinetry that's huge, like tons, right?
Tons
and it's
of
not a big space. And then we have a black dishwasher. We have a black refrigerator, a black stove, right? We have your gorgeous hood.
Antique brass.
That's all I say now is like someone's just like, what are your end tables? I was like, I just say, I just always just say antique brass. I don't even know if it is antique brass anymore. Greg's
say
like,
it.
stop saying antique brass and ambiance. I was like, I can't help it.
I say your words when it comes to cooking, so we're good,
Well, you
except
were
for
like
vanilla stock. Okay, wrong word.
You were like, I am splitting the vanilla stock. I was like, what are you, jacking the
I
beanstalk?
literally make Antonia cooking videos. Okay.
It's
I'm like,
so
look,
good.
I'm whipping
You know.
the cream
Yeah.
and I'm adding
Yeah.
the vanilla stock.
It's so-
and
yeah.
then like,
You're like,
and
here I am
Camille's
adding
like filming me and she
So
goes, do you want to
good.
send these to Brant? And I'm like, no, they're going to Antonia. Like I'm cooking for her,
so
even
good.
though I'm making the dinner for him.
It was so good.
it's
Well, the
just
dinner,
cute.
you were like, I'm making beef Wellington tomorrow. I was like, what? I was
You
like-
go, you're starting at 8 a.m.
I was
then.
like, you have all the things in your house right now, right? Like you just don't have to shop tomorrow.
the next day,
Beef Wellington is not easy to make. It takes hours.
I'm going to do it.
Great.
And I'm going to do it at 8 a.m.
You have to
for a dinner. You got to start early.
You got to start early.
I got all the things out because
Or
you know
you're
what I
not
was
gonna
waiting
be dressed
for?
for dinner.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I have to do it for him,
Correct.
like at the house. But I got the thing that makes the dough
Yes.
like kind of accordion
Lattice.
out. What's it called? Lattice. That's a design word
That is-
also.
yes.
See?
Yeah.
I have a lattice outside where my plants are.
And the outside of your puff pastry is
it's
the
a lattice. Oh, God. Another part that people aren't going to get to see is your front doors. So the front door, I know. We couldn't fit all this stuff.
episode?
Trust me. I wish there wasn't like a B story of someone else.
Oh.
Because it's like
I'm
watching
like the front
this.
doors are like the
front
greatest
doors.
story. Well, let me just say.
Let's tell the story of them.
Well, the front doors is like the whole thing of Fred, right? Is that he hates everything, right?
And you told me this. You warned me.
I said this.
Fred's gonna like hate everything that
He
you show
naysays
him.
everything.
Yeah.
He literally naysays everything. You come walking in and he's just like, who is this like 5'3" in her platforms with her like,
Ooh, you gave me an inch.
oh, did you? Sorry. 5'3"-ish.
Two.
With her like measuring tape. And my dad was just like, basically like, what is my daughter getting herself into?
Thought I was like a joke.
I
Not
didn't-
in a mean way,
not
but
mean
in
way,
a
but-
I'm an old school contractor from New York
100%.
who's like, I got it. And
Yeah.
this is my daughter's house,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
I come
Yeah.
tapping in with my stilettos
Yeah.
and a tape measure.
Yeah.
And he even says it on
Yeah.
the show. And then
He's like, who is this?
Yeah, he's like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm measuring for the new windows. He's like, and he saw me say like 3/4,
Yeah.
and he was like, she's got it.
Yeah. No, I feel like you said something else to him at some point that he was like, that Allison knows what she's doing. I was like, that
I
Allison?
said like J-Box.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, she's good.
yeah.
I'm like, it's so good.
I was like, Dad, I was like, slow your roll, Fred, with the misogyny.
Yeah, he seriously is like that old school guy. But
Yeah.
within days, it
Seconds.
was like, we're good.
Yeah.
She's got it. He's got it. We know our roles.
Yeah.
And this house, but these doors. So
Well, he's like, any antique thing you brought in,
Yeah.
he was like, why are you buying old things? Like,
Couldn't get it.
Couldn't understand the idea of antiquing. Why are you going to go buy someone's couch? And I mean, obviously, Joybird gave me all the couches, but like, nobody's like,
Did not get it.
did
Could not wrap his head
understand
around
the
it.
idea of antiquing and like this idea of like old and new and the doors. I was
I
like,
searched high and low for antique doors for your front doors. Now, your front doors above them had this transom window.
yeah.
And it was like stained glass, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not colored.
Super 80s,
Right.
yeah.
And I'm like, this has to come out because you have so much light coming in anyway. We'll just do big, tall doors. I'll find antiques. Couldn't find shit.
yeah.
One of my other houses, he didn't measure right. So the doors that I ordered for him from France
Yeah.
were now available. I'm
know.
like, you get your ass over here.
Yep.
Bring Greg, bring Fred.
Yep.
Let's do this. We filmed it. So it was all just like organic
Yeah.
and real. And Fred walks in, you say to him, because you came in first, you're like, he's going to hate these
Yeah.
doors.
Well, because first off, they're falling apart to a certain
Totally
extent, right?
old, cracked.
They're old, cracked. They have holes in them. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I trust Allison. Literally,
You're
I was
like,
like,
yes.
I was like, yes. Anything else? I mean, also they're gorgeous. I was like,
Gorgeous.
Fred's gonna hate these.
Fred walks in the door, wish this was on the show,
I can't believe it didn't make it.
and says,
oh my god, they're gorgeous.
couldn't stop touching them.
Yeah.
I love them.
He's like, look at the crap because you know what it is.
Tone. Calling you
I know,
tone.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. And we're sitting back like this.
Shocked.
What the
I know.
fuck?
I was like, what a way to throw a
And then
wrench.
Greg goes,
I hate 'em.
I don't like them.
I know.
And we're like, wait, what? Greg, you're supposed to like them, and Fred's supposed to hate them.
It was
It
ridiculous.
was opposite day.
It was so opposite.
And then we get him in, and for the reveal, it's the funniest. The people get to see that. I go to open the door for you, and the handle comes off in my hand. I'm like, come in. Those doors. Thank God. And we put the prettiest side inside,
yeah.
so you
I
always
love
see
it.
it when you walk down the
Yeah.
stairs. The shuffleboard table.
oh my god.
Again,
Yeah.
just a glimpse on television. People aren't going to see what went into this
Oh my
shuffleboard table.
God.
No! This just came off. Oh, we just got through it. Are you okay? Thank God. He delivers it to the house, reveals it to me. I'm like, my mouth's on the floor. I'm like, this is the sickest thing I've ever seen.
So good.
And then watching, because they didn't have, in the edit, they didn't have Greg's reaction to the shuffleboard table. And I'm like, put the camera, give me the angle of
yeah.
Greg. Because he goes, no fucking way.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Well, that was his, like another thing with him, right? Is that like, he just let me take over. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it was like,
yes, he did.
Yeah, like in like a true like good man fashion, it was just like anything she wants kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like,
And he was so excited for the
He was.
range reveal.
I
That's
know.
one of the most special moments.
he is. But the shuffleboard thing, because everywhere we've traveled has been, we play shuffleboard like two old people, like moths and
I wanna play it, moths and menopause.
like and shuffleboard. And so
We're going to have to do another episode.
I know.
What the fuck?
Seriously, there's too much
This,
content.
because this has to just be the episode of us
I
and
know.
the show.
I know. I know.
Because that was like Greg's moment.
that was his moment because that was the only thing that he said, like, can this be like a Vegas, something like it's ode to Vegas.
The lights
Yeah.
were like 3D
So good.
printed
Yes,
mini
I
lights
know.
around the Vegas sign.
It's the Vegas sign that everyone waits in line to take a picture of when they visit Las Vegas. And we always joke about it because, it's like that iconic Las Vegas
Yeah.
picture. And
which is like the logo of the show. I haven't shown it to you.
oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, I wanted it
Although
to
I
be.
did see the video, or excuse me, the promo.
You did see it.
I saw the promo the other day. Like it popped up on my thing. And I was like,
good.
and I was like, and the end picture is like you in front of the chandelier
At your house.
at my house. I was like, oh my
Ooh.
God, that's a chandelier.
Your house is in
I
it.
know.
Because it's the transformation of a lifetime.
Oh my God, 100% it does. I
And
can't wait.
I can't wait for you to cook for me in your kitchen.
Yes.
I want to sit there because, once I finish your house, it's not like I could just hang out.
No, I know.
I
You
literally
gotta
have
go do
to
your another
finish.
thing.
I'm still finishing
Yeah.
the show. I
Yeah.
still have like 3 more weeks.
Oh God.
So I am in it. We're premiering next week
and you're
and still filming.
editing. Oh
So
my
it is
God.
like down to
That's
the wire.
crazy. Yeah.
And the fact that like this vision of mine to move here, to do this show, to be in a place I love, to be with the friends that I love and have, and then to not even think, oh my God, I'm about to make a best friend for life.
I know.
That is so like, my friends don't understand my life,
Yeah.
right? They think they do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they definitely feel for me and they watch me
Yes.
kind of go through it and go through the grind. But you and I are just, we live the same life.
Right. Yours is design and mine's cooking. But
And
it's
so like
literally
when our
identical.
boyfriends met and
Yeah.
loved each other,
Yeah.
I was like,
Thank God.
oh my God, my heart's melting.
I know.
Like I can't wait for them to love each other more. And for us to like just hang out
Yeah.
when I'm done fucking
When you're
working.
done filming. Well, the funny thing is too, because I have my LA friends who call you my vagina friend.
Yes.
Because of our last podcast. And then we did the thing where I gave you like the what's it called?
We're going to show that on this podcast because we have to show
Oh, it's so funny.
that at the end of the reveal, when I gave you
Yes.
and Greg the reveal of the house,
Yes.
afterwards,
Yes.
which again is not on the episode,
Well, because this should have
That
the
should have
cut.
made
Yeah.
it.
No, I mean they shouldn't have.
I think it should have.
Yeah.
You and Greg are like, we have a present for you. And I sit down at the fireplace while I'm telling you how the holidays are going to look.
Yes.
With the
Well,
tree.
also you were like the tree, and then you were like
Karaoke.
and then you're like, you need to come to my birthday party. This we're like planning our lives.
The calendar came out and
Yes.
you're like, here's your present. And I knew
You did.
that it was a vagina
That's
steamer.
so crazy.
Of course I did.
Because I was like, it's been such a point of conversation.
Yeah.
All my friends have listened to the podcast because they're like, who is this friend? like I feel like they wanted me to like move to Vegas and be
alone and
friendless.
miss them.
Yeah. And I was like, and like, shout out to all my friends in LA. I love you guys. But
And I can't wait to meet you.
yes.
Yes.
But also, and they are the sweetest, but it's just so funny. They're just like, oh, your friend, I was like, you mean Allison Victoria, the woman who just designed the entire house, who has her HGTV show? They're like, yeah, your vagina friend. I was like, whatever you want to call her. I don't care.
I will
just
take
think it's
vagina
very-
friend.
It's very funny.
Because you know what? My initials are AV, so
I know.
Allison Vagina. This is going to be to be continued again. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about peptides. We're going to talk about green matcha in your vagina.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
tell you about the
You're gonna
suppositories.
tell me
I forgot
about
about the
those.
suppositories. I forgot I told you that.
Matcha
I'm not even
suppositories.
drinking anymore, and I don't remember the shit that comes out of my mouth to tell you.
Because you and I are the same. We talk
know.
about 1 million
I
things
know.
all the time.
I forgot. Yeah, green tea suppositories. You say matcha. I was like, it's green tea.
Matcha
Green
vagina
tea.
pills.
My green tea is suppositories.
But everybody, if you haven't watched the episode with Antonia, you're going to die when you see her new space,
Go
the
see
new
my
kitchen. I wish you could have seen and experienced every moment that we had
Yes.
in the last 8 months.
Oh my God.
But
or maybe some of
I-
them not so much.
not all of them, the braless like Lowe's run. But I cannot wait for you guys to experience it. Just our friendship and the transformation. And our video, the food one that came out today,
so good.
is they cut out all the funny.
No, I think they're probably or the stripper shrimp got to be at a second episode.
It better be.
Yeah, there has to be. They're gonna do 2.
You guys are gonna see my world famous stripper shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, I whistled. Did you hear it?
Yes.
My stripper shrimp.
Was that missing tooth?
It was. That's gonna be pulled soon. Oh my God, we'll tell the tooth story later. But so by popular demand, you got her.
I'll be back.
She's here and she'll be back.
I'll be back.
So we love you guys.
And I love you and I love my house and watch the show.
I love you so much.
Yeah.